Marcus Rashford has recently announced that he wants a new challenge just a few weeks after Amorim was appointed as United manager. Seems quite odd. But do you feel any sympathy for Amorim, given the challenges he faces at United at the moment?
Well, I think there's two ways to look at it, because you can say that you feel sympathy with Amorim because he's in the United job, and that's a difficult job as it is already.
100%.
But I think Rashford has already shown his true colours, and the fact that he said he wants to leave has made Amorim's job, well, a lot more easier in my opinion.
However, it's going to be difficult for United to actually sell Rashford because, for one, his wages are ludicrous. He's on about 350 grand a week. No top club in Europe is going to pay remotely near that. And second of all, United aren't going to get the fee that they want for the player. They're going to maybe want 50, 60 million for Rashford because his contract runs out in the summer of 2028. And they'll go, when he's at his best, he's a very, very good and competent footballer. But then other clubs will look at it and go, over the past 12 to 18 months, his goal return and his assist return has been really, really poor. And he wants to leave the club. And if a player wants to leave the club, it's a lot easier for the buying club to get him for a lot cheaper. And
it's also worth to mention that if Rashford does try and force a move out, or if it ends up getting to that stage, it could just create a story that drags on, and that's exactly what Manchester United don't need, and especially Rashford himself.
But Harv, has Rashford handled this in the best possible way, and do you think a move away is the right thing for him?
Well, I certainly think he could handle it better, because the fact that he's already come out publicly saying that I want to leave just a few weeks after Amorim's been appointed, I think, in my opinion, it's actually quite selfish from him. And the fact that he hasn't given a manager a chance already, it's silly.
Almost like, oh, I don't trust your system. I don't have any belief that your system will work. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. And I know it's a big game, by the way, that he got left out in. It's obviously the Manchester derby. He wants to play. I get that.
Hold yourself accountable.
Exactly. Play your way into the team. And it's only one game. It's not like he's been left out the whole season, right? You know, like how Sancho did with Ten Hag. Like, it's only one game. The manager's only been in for a few weeks, and you're already saying you want to leave. And now that's created, well, problems in the future, because like you mentioned earlier, it's going to be difficult for him to get a move out now that he said publicly that he wants to leave.
Well, I don't think Amorim has any personal issues with Rashford. Like with Ten Hag, you might say, oh, this is a frequent thing, maybe they don't get along, but Amorim's been there a few weeks. And if they've already had a disagreement, that does not shine a good light on Rashford at all, does it?
And the thing is, it's going to be very unlikely for him to get a move in January.
100%.
So if he's going to go public with it, he should have gone public with it much later in the season, in the summer, where there wasn't as much drama, because now this could be a story for the whole season, and that's going to be so annoying for the club.
And it also feeds into the narrative that United players are selfish, they're only in it for themselves, and they don't have good characters.
Nonetheless, though, a move away from the club, I think, is certainly the right option for Marcus Rashford. Because if you look at our tactical analysis that we did previously on Ruben Amorim about how he'd set up his Manchester United side, it was very difficult to see where Rashford would fit in, because his sort of mould of his style of play doesn't quite suit with Amorim's tactics, really. And although fitting Rashford into Amorim's system was going to be difficult, I didn't expect him to come out and say he wants to leave publicly this early as well.
Well, like we alluded to earlier on, he hasn't really given the system a chance, because if he plays so well on the training pitch and in cameos when coming off the bench, then Amorim will almost be forced into fitting him in, and maybe then he will tweak his system for Rashford. Like if he would perform to the level he did a couple of years ago.
Exactly, But finally, Zach, where do we see Rashford leaving to? Because United would demand a pretty hefty fee, and partner that with his huge wages, it's going to be difficult to see whether the 27-year-old gets a move out of the club.
Well, I think I could see him at maybe a West Ham. I think he'd be suited to Lopetegui's system because he does like direct wingers who can exploit the space in behind. But then again, his football is very possession-based. It's possession-based orientated.
Doesn't quite suit Rashford
and
then, does
no,
it?
that's the thing. It sort of contradicts it slightly. And how long would he be at West Ham for? Because they haven't been performing this season. On the other hand, the move away from the Premier League could help reduce the spotlight on Rashford. But then when you look at the top clubs around Europe, do they really need a player like Rashford within their ranks? For one, he's lazy and he doesn't track back. That's a bad trait of his. And two, when you look through the top clubs, look at the left wingers they have. AC Milan, Rafa Leao, Inter Milan, they don't play with wingers. Barcelona and Real Madrid, is he going to go there with their quality? No chance. And then Bayern's the same. So you look at those top clubs, are they going to go in for Rashford? No. But when I looked at a club like Borussia Dortmund, for example, I thought maybe yes, because they've got a lot of young wingers within their ranks. He's more experienced. And I do think that they are, well, they're in need of that sort of player who can maybe inject that bit of dynamism and that bit of sort of, it's hard to say top quality because he hasn't produced top quality for years, but almost that sort of established quality, because this season in the Bundesliga, they've been underperforming heavily. I think they sit like 8th or 9th, and Dortmund, well, they want to be right out there pushing Bayern for the title.
Perhaps they need a moment's play. Perhaps they need that moment of quality to get them out of trouble and to push them up the league.
100%. It's definitely a possibility, but then again, you look at their wage structure, I think their highest earners on about 190 grand a week, and Rashford's going to have to take a big pay cut if he were to join Dortmund. But all things considered, the overriding factor within all of this is his consistency and his work ethic. I'm not being funny, this guy's got to be the most inconsistent player in the Premier League at the top level. Has a season where he scores almost 20 goals, the next season he scores 5. And there has to be no more 5-goal seasons for Rashford if he joins a new club, because they won't keep him for long and then he'll be off to somewhere else. And obviously work ethic as well, like I just mentioned. If he's not going to track back, no club's going to want to sign him. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But over to you guys. Where do you think Rashford should go next if he should leave United? And how stupid of a thing do you think it was to come out in the media and say something like that? We think it is, but let us know your thoughts down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, smash the like button and subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.